If you know what's good for you, you'll get in your fucking vehicle.
Well, it would appear that we have another Jussie Smollett. Let's take a look.
Xenia, Ohio. I don't typically wear my dog tags. I'm traveling because I'm about to deploy. So I go inside the gas station at the register before me. Long white beard. He was like fumbling with his change or whatever. And I'm like, hey man, you good? You need a minute? So he turns around and he goes, oh, you military? I say, yeah, active Navy. He goes, oh, I was in the Corps for 20 something. I don't remember the exact fucking number. And I was like, oh, thank you for your service. And he looks at me and goes, they still letting people like you serve? What? So I go, excuse me? And he goes, yeah, you colored people should not be.
So before we continue, you start off this interaction by asking an elderly man in front of you, fumbling with his change, quote, hey man, you good? You need a minute. Essentially rushing this man while he's trying to make a transaction. But then you mean to tell me that his very first retort to you was to ask if you were in the military, which would mean that your dog tags were immediately visible. Well, sure, that tracks, especially given that at the beginning of your video, your dog tags were on the outside of your hooded sweatshirt. Very easy to see. Can't miss them. And then once you were done conveniently using them for a prop in your video, you discreetly tucked them back under your hooded sweatshirt. Probably just a habit, but something that you're used to, no doubt, given Navy uniform regulations. You know, were they mandated to be worn underclothing to keep them secure, discreet, and protected? Now, sure, this usually doesn't apply to people that are off duty. However, you did say that you were en route to deployment and that you are, quote, active duty. Now, be it Liberty, pre-deployment standby, the expectation to wear dog tags under clothing would still be applicable even at a gas station. However, all of that technical bullshit aside, surely it couldn't be very comfortable or really even practical to wear your dog tags outside of a hooded sweatshirt. Which leads me to believe that they were inside your shirt the whole time this interaction never happened and there was no man. But I'll play along. Continue.
I have so little patience for disrespect. I grabbed him by his neck, turned his head to the outside. I said, who's that sitting out there in the car with you? Is that your daughter? Is that your wife? Who is it? So the lady was like, excuse me, sir, can you let him go? I said, who is it? It's my daughter. Can you let me go? I said, do you want to make it home to her tonight? And leave me the fuck alone. So then I guess his son was in the car. So when I let him go and he came out the store and hopped in the whip, his son get out the car. I said, if you know what's best for you, you'll stay in that fucking car.
Assuming that this is true, it's not. You choked an elderly man while threatening his life, and then threatened his son's safety who was coming to the defense of his father. Son, I don't really know how to break it to you, but you just opened yourself up to a myriad of both civilian and military legal consequences punishable by jail time, fines, or even possible discharge. Now, on the off chance that there really was a man and this all happened, I'm sorry that you had to deal with an asshole with so much hate in his heart for no reason. However, congratulations, you affirmed his prejudiced beliefs. You probably strengthened a stereotype for him when you put your hands on him, threatened his life, and threatened his son. All because you are a sensitive and uncivilized man-child who can't keep his emotions in check and his hands to himself. But my favorite part of the clip is what you show at the beginning of the video, where you're supposedly yelling at the son to get back in his car.
Nah, bitch, because if you know what's good for you, you'll get in your fucking vehicle. Playing with me, man.
Decent performance, 5 out of 10. I do think Smollett's was just a smidge better, but good news. Before your next fake racist interaction, you can hone your craft a little bit. You know, take a few acting lessons. I believe in you.
One day later.
I have no desire to quote-unquote race bait on the internet.
You are aware that your page is public, correct?
Black people are getting these random text messages. Greetings, you have been selected to pick cotton at the nearest plantation. This picture was taken at UNC Greensboro. Some student put whites only, coloreds only. No, fuck that. Tread lightly, because we are indeed our ancestors.
To those of you saying, oh, you should take this down. This is you admitting to assault. If me grabbing someone by the neck and pulling them close to me and talking to them is assault, and that's the hill y'all willing to die on, oh my God, I'm going to go to jail. Well, then I guess that's the hill I'm willing to die on. I feel like, honestly, I didn't do enough.
You grabbed a man by the neck. You threatened the physical safety of two individuals. That is assault. In fact, in Ohio, where this occurred, under the ORC, this is a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable by up to 180 days in jail or up to a $1,000 fine. But wait, folks, that's not all. There's more. Also, under the ORC, this would qualify as aggravated menacing. Again, punishable by up to 180 days in jail or up to $1,000 in fines.
There were other people in the comments saying, oh, you should have used the Green Book app to figure out what was sundown towns and what wasn't. I did. Every single place that I drove through, I did. That's what made me comfortable.
Alright, Mr. Big Navy Tough Guy, so you and other black people are also indoctrinated and paranoid about these evil white racists residing in these sundown towns, even though there's no conclusive proof that these exist anymore, that you have resorted to using an app based on the extremely outdated Negro Motorist Green Book, which fell out of publication in 1967 and was first published in 1936. And its purpose was to show welcoming, friendly businesses during the Jim Crow era. I'm sorry, but you're 60 plus years too fucking late. Now listen, I know that by your own admission you want to inspire people to push back against racism, be that spark for change, that Rosa Parks-like figure, but that is never going to happen because you are not, have not ever been, and will never be oppressed. So stop with the phony activism bullshit.